Alright guys, we just finished a new mission, so new mission completed means new video uploaded, and let me get out of this real quick. Alright, so as you can see we started at night. Until I figure out the whole clip loop where I can like merge clips, this is how we're going to do it. I want to give you an idea of lights and how they look. And again, I'm using Epic graphics, so makes it look pretty good I think. And today's mission, we did the Stockpile Forest mission, meaning that you had to pretty much collect, between 85 to about 300 of different types of vegetables, and collect so many hunting stuff. I don't want to give the mission away in case you're looking at this before you're attempting it, so, just kind of give you an overall view of my build for the mission itself. So, because it's pretty much collecting and stockpiling a lot of food and stuff, I kind of wanted to go with a farm look, like a farm ranch build. And I would have liked to keep it all wood, to kind of give it like an old-timey farm ranch look. Obviously, a lot of farm and ranches don't have stone buildings, That's a lot of like, wooden cabin, logs, and, if you've been on a farm or you've seen one, I mean, you know what a farm is, all right? So won't go too far into that. But here's pretty much my build for it. I like to keep it functional, efficient, and again, realistic, as if somebody actually lived here. So I'm gonna show you like kind of the night look, and then just to not take too much time, we'll go and skip it to the daytime when we're done with that. So yep, here we go. So on the farm part itself, using the crop plots. Not too crazy into it. You separate them, and I like to put like a walking path. If you're an actual farmer, obviously you're not gonna stack all of them together. You need a walking path to be able to check it, I guess. I'm a city guy, I guess. I'm not knowledgeable in agriculture, but if I was a farmer, I guess this was kind of how I do it. Let me know if if what I'm talking about doesn't make sense. But yeah, love the night look. Utilizing the lights definitely helps. So again, with no lamp, this is kind of how it looks. So again, it's like a ranch looking area. You'll see even better when it's daylight. Just gonna give you a quick walk around. And I'll explain what things are when it's daylight. Front porch. Again, using the flowers as crop plots for decorations. Definitely a need. Oh, just brings it out. Alright, let's go in. Again, I try to think of like a variation of like a farmhouse, ranch house, but obviously in ICARUS, you're not just a normal farmer, you're sent down on a pod onto a planet, hostile planet, so it'll make it nice as hell, right? I'm surviving here. No. But yeah. I'm kind of go with like a little dome top this time. Really open it up. I thought about doing glass for that, but I don't know. I think it might be too much. Went with the fireplace in the middle of the build this time. Thought it was nice. Come down to, one day they're gonna add like couches and chairs and stuff. Like, that'd be nice. Alright, so it's not so much floors, but a like big open loft area. I thought it'd be nice. Gotta have the bedroom. hopefully they start putting more different decoration types, stuff you can add. Because until they do, it's pretty much all you get when it comes to decorating. So I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but when, like, say, you know, I'm done for the day, I save it, log off, whatever, and then later on I get back on. Have you noticed your railing walls suddenly disappear when you get back on? Like, I could have swore I set this one, but I guess I forgot to. But yeah, like I'll join back on, and then like the railings will be gone. It's so weird. Like on one of my builds, had a lot of railings outside, like the wooden railings for the fence line. They were just all gone. I was so pissed. But I don't know. I digress. So okay, for this particular area where I'm at, it comes out to a little island. Again on the map, I'll let it load real quick. I thought about doing like a little walkway from the main house to this little island. You'll see it in the daylight. And then doing like a tall multi-level structure farm structure. I don't know how to explain it. But like having different levels. Like one level would be like all pumpkins, next level would be all watermelon, you know, or half and half of something, and then so on. Kind of like a giant greenhouse. If you see my last videos, you can see that I'm one for the greenhouses, but I don't know. Kind of bailed on it. Thought it'd take too much time. So, kind of made it into a like a petting zoo or something at one point. I had like a few wolves in here, and then I was able to close it. I just kind of, you know, kept them in there. Eventually, I guess the game, like, I don't know, glitched them through the wall or something because they suddenly were walking this way. I'm like, how'd they get out? But yeah. Alright, I think you get the gist of the nighttime. Wouldn't take too much time with it. Just to give you an idea of how it looks with the lighting and everything. I think it looks pretty nice. Give you a little hour view. Looks pretty cool. Alright. Go ahead and sleep real quick. And I've noticed, I don't know if this is because it's on Epic or anything, but the more lights you have on, the more you start to kind of lag. Notice a little slowness to it. It doesn't do as much during the daytime when all the lights aren't really on, or off rather. Okay. Alrighty. Good morning, Neverland. Always love a good window. If you like glass view, like imagine like if you were like, I don't know, it's my last videos, waking up to a nice view. And because it's like a one giant open area, I don't really use doors for the bedroom, just kind of use these little drapes. Yeah, I think it looks nice. Okay, so to give you an idea of where we're at, the mission itself doesn't give you really much space to walk. Like pretty much all this area is all that you can do. I traveled everywhere because I tried to get different biomes because I wanted to try to get different animals for trophies. Wanted to get a cougar in the desert, couldn't find one. Wanted to get a polar bear in the ice. I found one, but the trophy tool didn't give me a head, so I couldn't make one, which I thought was a bummer. Like, all I got from it was the pelt, so I couldn't make the head. So I don't know if there's a bug or something. Hopefully they fix that. Alrighty, I'm gonna turn off some of these lights just to kind of see if it doesn't lag, but there's my kitchen. A lot of space for the kitchen this time. I know in my last video, really small space because it was a smaller tight fit area. Big old farmhouse, thought needed big old kitchen, right? All you country folks out there, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about when it comes to big old kitchens. I used a wood crate, medium wood crate, as like an island for the kitchen. So I said use the pieces, like think outside the box of how you can use pieces. You really shape into a lot of things. All right, so yeah, I have an ice box because, like I said, on the we're not too far from the ice area, and little tip for the farming of the stockpiling of the vegetables, you're gonna need a lot of storage space and keeping them cold. And yeah, so when I was playing, I had 2 fridges going and an ice box because you're gonna need a lot of stuff. So that's all I'm gonna give you on that. But on the view, like I said, love a nice can talk. Nice glass view. For my build, like I said, you can all this area to use, like a good mountaintop, like the view over here, over an I-14, doesn't get better than that. You see this wide open canyon, I guess you can call it, or valley, or whatever you call it. The view is amazing. I need to figure out how to merge stuff, because I can, like, you know, I'll go to it real quick, come back, I don't know. But anyways, so this is the island. This is what we had to use. So, like I said, didn't end up doing it. I like the little walkway to it. I don't know. Another chance to use the lights. Gotta have light for the walkway, right? So over here on the lake, and unfortunately not all the lakes or ponds have fish in it. So you have to go, like, I had to go all the way here, over here. No, wait, what was it? Over here. Where'd I have to go? I think it was over here. I can't remember. One of these ponds had fish in it, so you had to go there to get it. But since we're on a lake, I decided to add a little fishing pier. And just for the video, I added this here. Obviously, you can't keep this here because the storm will destroy it. But you know, if you're into fishing, a little fishing look. Thought it was neat. So one of my things about playing this game, it's like, okay, you sit down, you have a mission. You know, you're gonna have to go walking around everywhere, all kinds of mining and hunting and, you know, whatever. I like to build something to come home nice to, you know? Nice to come home to. I cannot talk today, I'm so sorry. It's like, you know, if you went all over here to do some mining or fishing, or had to, you know, trek somewhere way away, you do a lot of stuff, spend a few nights, a few storms worth, whatever. You come all the way back. I think it's nice to come home to something, you know? Because if you're doing a long, like this is a long mission, you're going to tech up to, like, you know, at least a T4, in my case. You're going to have a lot of space anyways, to have a lot of stuff. You know, get creative with it. Alright, so this little daytime view of the farm. Again, it doesn't have to be too big. Oh damn, hold on, I'm hungry. A little mid-video snack. Alright, back in business. Okay, so over here, since this is like a ranch type style, I wanted to build like a little side building setup for my generators. Again, to recap on generators, being this close, if you can hear it, it's pretty loud. You don't want to have that right underneath your house or whatever kind of build you're having, because you'll be hearing this the whole time, everywhere you go. It gets annoying. So I build mine far away. So like, about right here, you can barely hear it. Alright. So over here, I have a lot of stone. Luckily, I lucked out. Over here, I don't know if you can see it, there's a cave, big cave, and I have one of the talents to where you have a 1% chance of one hitting an entire mineral source, and that thing spit out like 18,000 stone. So I brought a lot of it, I think about 10,000's worth over here, and decided to build like a little quarry setup, I guess. I don't know. Thought it'd like be nice. I didn't want to get rid of all the stone or like, you know, just chunk it away. So I brought it over here, and that's when I, you know, thought of a quarry, you know. A little stone structure, a little place for my cement. All the industrial type things, you know. This is where I do all my stone making. So I did a little setup, a little building. And I have 2 generators here because unfortunately, if you have a fridge, only 1 generator will be able to support 1 fridge. So I needed 2 fridges. At least that was my way I did it. So I built another generator specifically for that. So rocking with one right now. Again with the cables, trying to keep it nice and clean. You don't want like 1,000 wires going everywhere. Keep it nice tucked in. And I'm trying to make them as less seen as possible. Now, if you're realistic, you can't get away with completely hiding them. You know, you're surviving on a planet, a hostile planet. You're gonna have wires and showing and stuff. It's not gonna be, you know, full on perfect, but trying to keep them tight, nice and taut, and especially inside the house, try to make them as unseeable as possible. So like, you know, I have a light here, but you can barely see a cable. Occasionally you'll have visible, like it's showing right here if you can see it. It's a little crafting area. So it is open, but you know, you like to section off areas. So a workshop, nice and simple in this one. So again, as a farmhouse, I'm trying to go for that style. So it's not going to be all like sectioned off and like a really nice, you know, fancy looking place. Rugged. This is a rugged ranch house. You know, at least I tried to be. But I like the openness of this area in the corner. You know, you're using a small space, but try to make it sing big, right? Like again, like my last videos, go in depth, add height, add angles. You know, don't make it a box and just shove everything in corners and walls. You know, open it up, but also, you know, just use the space efficiently. That's I think. Using different, you know, types of flooring and wood. You know, I got wood, stone, and glass all in the same area, but the consistency works. Yeah. Again, the plants. Utilize plants. Make it feel homey. You know, the more like only stone and wood that you have, the more kind of, what's the word? Very droll. I think that's the word. I'll look up the definition of that, but I don't know. The plants really make it homey. Make it inviting. That's the word I'm looking for. You know, look at the kitchen. I love it. Utilizing mortar and pestles just for looks. You know, I don't use them for anything, but you know. So a little tip, I had a couple people ask questions about glass and how to maintain them. So with anything, wood, stone, glass, whatever, if it gets completely destroyed, let me get my, so this is 500, right? As compared to 2,500. If it gets completely destroyed, you're gonna have to make another one. But as long as there's a little bit left in that durability, you can always repair it. All right. So for example, my last video, what I talked about was when I leave to go off somewhere, say like way away, you know, I might not make it back before a storm hits, maybe 2. A couple storms, depending on severity, could destroy the glass. So again, what I do when I leave, I always make a few extra stone walls or roof angles, depending on what type of glass structure I have. And I will, so let me pull it out real quick. Have your upgrade tool at the handy. Oh, don't drop it. And then, like say, I'm fixing to leave, you know, I'll board them up, essentially. Okay? So when I come back, nice and quick, boom, easy as that. So, another question too, for storms, trying to maintain the glass while you're here during a storm. You can essentially do the same thing, at least in my opinion, like what I've seen really works. Pretty much like you're boarding up for a giant storm. So because you have a lot of stone, storms won't do anything. Like, you're fine. So if you have like a lot of wood, you know, outside, yeah, they can get affected. But if you have stone above the wood, I've noticed that it doesn't hardly affect the wood structures at all if the stone is above it. So occasionally this stuff will get affected because it's not covered, right? I have to repair that, no biggie. Okay, so over here, it's a good time for this. Because this isn't covered by nothing, notice it's starting to get damaged. That's why you can't really leave anything out here, unfortunately. You might be able to build like a cover awning over it. That might help. But yeah, eventually it will get destroyed. Like I said, just did that just for video purposes. Yeah, crop plots won't get damaged during storms, so don't have to worry about that. Okay, so yeah, you just quickly board up your glass walls with stone, wait for the storm to pass, and then when the storm passes, upgrade tool, put it right back to where you had them, and continue on. Right? It's that easy. Really simple. It took like 10 seconds. Now, obviously, if you don't have a structure or a house this big, say you're doing a 6x6 or let's say, you know, something like that, you don't have to run around all kind of crazy places to get places, right? You can probably just stand here and, you know, use your repair tool as they crack, board it up, you know. So, just little tips if you're doing big structures, big builds. So yeah, this is a farmhouse, ranch house. Oh, the signs, check them out. Haven't used any signs yet. So if you notice, they you can write them on. You can write on it. I don't have a sign for everything. I just want to kind of put some random places, kind of give you an idea of what they look like. So like when they're not blooming, all this shows like a little bitty seed. I'll show you real quick what kind of they look like. Hold on. Okay, so this is when they're fully bloomed, at least for a watermelon. And this is what they look like when you seed them. So at a glance, you might not be able to tell what that is. Could be a pumpkin, could be, you know, berry, whatever. So use the signs, just kind of help you out, save time. On the farming, a lot of people have questions on farming. I'll hit this real quick. Sorry if this video is getting a little long. Figured I'd throw some tips, especially since this mission itself involves a lot of harvesting and farming and stuff. When you're farming, let me go ahead and collect this. When you're collecting things, they'll show in the device inventory part in this area here. That's after they've already grown and matured and you can harvest them. This is where you'll put the seed. Alright, so right now, there's nothing in these. Each crop plot, so right now I have 2 watermelon, right? Say I have 2 of these. You're not going to put 2 or the whole stack in there to try to, I don't know, harvest, you know, a lot. Each part would only accept 1 seed. So if I have, say, these top 2 crop plots, I'm going to put 1 seed in there, boom. It's going to disappear, but it's going to show that it's seeded as for a watermelon. So now, with the crop growth progress, once this goes all the way, it's going to show up here. It varies between 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, depending on the type of vegetable. or plant. So like I said, like see, it's already starting to grow. I think I've heard of generally about an hour, 50 minutes to an hour in real life time is what it takes for it to fully harvest. So yeah, so you take one seed for each plant, and like I said, once they've matured, you can harvest them. It's between 2 and 5, and then you pick them. It's like they will spoil. Like once they're harvested, they will spoil over time, like normal. So like if you have fruits or meats in your inventory that you're carrying, they'll spoil over time. Same thing with the device and the crop plot. So make sure to harvest them before they spoil again, because then you're replanting it over again. And if they spoil before, like it just happened, literally expired before I can plant it. So with flower plants, different types like berries, they'll never expire. Excuse me. Wheat never expires. So I don't think. It's been here the whole game. Yellow flowers, tea flowers, soybeans, and cocoa plants never expire. Uh-oh. Hopefully lose connection. So they can stay there for a good while. Unfortunately, it takes like 50 cocoa plants to make coffee and like a lot of tea to make tea. So in a normal situation, so yeah, if they expire, they'll disappear. I don't know if you saw that. They'll eventually expire. So again, this has 2. Looks like these have been sitting here for a while, so they depleted a lot. They're definitely useful to harvest. Use crop plants for a lot of plants and vegetables that you can't find normally. Like obviously, squashes are hard to see out in the foliage. So typically, if I'm doing a long-term mission build, I'll do a lot of squash plants, a lot of corn. So we know that corn is very minimally placed around the world. And then like a lot of tea and cocoa plants I'll plant, because you find soybean plants everywhere, obviously berry bushes everywhere, these type of plants everywhere, and coffee beans everywhere. So little storage place for wood. Okay, is there anything else I need to talk about? Feel free to comment if there's any questions about anything you guys have. I've played ICARUS for a good while now, pretty much kind of a good knowledge about pretty much everything. Building, farming, hunting, all the craft benches and tools, how to best utilize things. Obviously I'm not saying the best, but my opinions on things, I think they've worked out pretty well. But yeah, other than that, I think that might cover it. Just a quick walkthrough, see if I mentioned anything. I don't know if you noticed, but if you're doing like an open house build, sectioning off things really kind of makes it look more homey. Like use the railings inside. I think they really help when sectioning off things. Like you got the kitchen whole area over here. Yeah, sectioning. You use this little half wall to create the workshop room. So, all right, I think that might cover it. All right. Appreciate you stopping by, watching. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, the whole jazz, comment. So like I said, my last videos, I try to do a build after every mission. I try not to ever do the same type of build. I like to change it. Hopefully all my videos have shown different type builds. Obviously different biomes will have different builds. I do a lot of survival games. Hopefully you see my raft build. Soon I should be uploading my 7 Days to Die build. Spent a lot of time on that one. Might be a little rusty. I haven't played the game in a while, so I have to pick up all my how to play it essentially again. So, but that'll about do it for this build. Hope you enjoyed, and we will catch you in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. This is where I would do an outro, but still learning. All right, see ya.